Hello everyone, Linda Israel here, and today I thought I would show you how to dye fabric and some paper using water and Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. It's a very quick and easy process. So to start with, I've got about a cup of water. It depends upon how much fabric and or paper that you want to use. I've got some unbleached muslin that I have torn in about 1-inch strips. I had a scrap of fabric. I don't even know. I think it was either given to me or it was used for something else because it had some pieces cut out of it. And it's designed for quilt backing. So it's a really wide piece. So they're really, really long pieces. And I wanted a variety of colors of dyed fabric. And I thought this is the perfect way to do it. So starting with a little bit of water, and I've got a tablespoon. I'm going to take my Tattered Angels. This happens to be dried lavender. The bottle got a little messed up, so I couldn't put it in my shop for sale, but I can use it. So I'm shaking it up really well. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to pour about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. It depends upon how dark you want it. So I'm going to kind of stir that around. That's going to be really pale. So I'm going to put one more tablespoon in there. So you can kind of see how much I used off the Tattered Angels. I'll put my spoon aside, put the lid back on. And then I'll just take some fabric. I'll put some gloves on just so that I don't get my fingers all inked up. And I found different ways. You can get it wet first and then dunk it in, or you can just dunk it in. Now I'm going to do the dunk it in direct method. So I'm just going to poke that down in there. Now I just realized that this is my shallow measuring cup. So I'm just going to dump it into a dish. And then that way it won't squish out onto my desk. And I found that I just kind of mush it around into the water. Even let it set if I want. I've got some more fabric here that I may dye. I'll grab a little bit more. This is going to be a really pale lavender color. So I'm just going to push that down in here. So I'm just kind of working it a little bit into the Tattered Angels water. I haven't done this color yet. I've done mostly darker colors. So this is taking just a little bit longer for it to saturate the fabric. Once you feel that you've got the color that you want on your fabric, I'm just squeezing off the excess water so you can kind of see the color that came out. I'll just set it aside for now. We still have water left over. So I'm going to take off my gloves, and I'm grabbing I guess they call it a cooking sheet, a baking pan. I found these you're going to flash out here on me, at the Dollar Tree, and I've got a piece of copyweight paper in here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paintbrush and dip it into this water and paint over my page. And again, it's a very, very pale lavender color because it's called dried lavender, but it's going to be just enough that this paper won't be white. So I will go ahead and paint all over on one side. And then I will flip the paper over. You want to be careful because it'll rip. And then I'm just going to paint the other side. Now you could also just pour this water into the pan and then let that saturate your page. But I just wanted to see what it would look like doing a really pale, pale lavender color. And if you want to do a bunch of pages, you can just keep stacking your paper in here. I'm going to set this aside. Now, we've got some Tattered Angels left over. So here's what we could do. I could dump this out, be done with it, continue to dye paper and fabric until the liquid is gone. I can pour this off into a container and save it for another time. What I'm going to do is add another color to this in the same color family. So this is kind of a purpley, pinkish lavender color. So I'm going to grab another color and then I'm going to continue to dye some stuff. I've got fully purple. Another one would be, oh, I forgot, it's a pop. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab my tablespoon. I'm going to add about a tablespoon. Since this is a darker color, I won't need near as much. I'll stir that in just a little bit. Set my spoon aside. I'm going to take out my paintbrush. I've got some more fabric here, so I'm just going to dunk that down inside. I got another piece. Put my gloves back on, and I'll play with this just a little bit more, and then we'll also dye some paper. I'm going to let that soak up that color just a little bit. I'm going to grab another pan, and I'll grab another sheet of paper. And we're going to use the paintbrush again, and I'll just use the water to color another piece of paper. After I've done a few sheets, I may pour off the excess liquid and then just let this set overnight. You can speed up the process a little bit if you want to use a heat tool and or use an iron. So I'm going to set this aside and show you some papers that I made. Here's some fabrics that I made. So this was using a purple, but it kind of let it be a little bit of a blue. This was a blue that I had. I had a turquoisey color, a really pretty pale pink, another purple, some greens. This one is a blue, started out blue, and I added red to make my own shade of purple. And I like how it kind of picked up a little bit of pink. It's got some purple in it. It was really interesting. And then here's a few pages. I didn't do a lot of paper this time. I already have a few, but here is a kind of a pale purple and then a really pale green. And then I saved, this was the blue that I had left over, and I saved some in a bottle so that I can make more if I want. In fact, I may go ahead and make some more papers. So you can use these papers in your junk journals or your journal cards or making any kind of little paper craft that you want. You can use the fabric as well. And now I have a really nice selection of colors. Well, I hope you like seeing a quick tutorial. I forgot to say, on my fabric, I put it over a hanger and let it hang overnight. And then I took my iron and ironed it out flat. If you like that crinkly look, then you don't have to iron it, but I wanted mine to be a little bit smoother because I plan to layer with this. Again, if you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Check the description box for Tattered Angels where you can get them from my shop. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And know I go live on Mondays at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, and the first Thursday of the month, I am live doing mixed media projects. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye.